Good morning, teachers, parents, and pupils. Welcome to another math amazing and math exciting episode of Valenzuela Live Mathematics 6. I am Sir Nick M. Cuerpo from Coloong Elementary School, and I will be your FB Live teacher for today. To recognize your participation in our FB Live session for today, in our comment box, please type in your name of your school, grade and section, and the name of your subject teacher. We are still on quarter 1, week 3 of the most essential learning competencies. And for today's lessons, you are going to, first, divide simple fractions and mixed fractions. Second, solve routine or non-routine problems involving division with or without any of the other operations of fractions and mixed fractions using appropriate problem-solving strategies and tools. So, let's have our first activity. It's called clocks, which means click like or click sad. Click a like reaction if the two given expressions are equal. Or, click a sad reaction if the two given expressions are not equal. I will be giving you 10 seconds to send your reaction in our FB Live page. So, are you ready? Let's begin. Number 1, 3/7 times 2 blank 5/7. Is it like or sad? Go. Time's up. Let's check your answer. The answer is sad. Number 2, 5 times 2/11 blank 10/11. Is it like or sad? Go. Okay, time's up. The correct answer is like. Number 3, 3/7 times 4/7 blank 1/14. Is it like or sad? Go. Okay, time's up. The correct answer is sad. Number 4. Is it like or sad? Go. Okay, time's up. The correct answer is sad. For the last number, 1/2 times 5/9 blank 5/18. Is it like or sad? Go. Time's up. The correct answer is like. Fractions are everywhere. Fractions are very useful in our day-to-day activities like buying fruits, vegetables, meats, and others. Fractions are also used when sharing pizza among your friends. Having knowledge about fraction is very important. Now, let us recall your journey here in Valenzuela Live about the 4 fundamental operations of fractions. And some were already discussed to you, like addition of fractions, subtraction of fractions, and multiplication of fractions. Now, to complete the magic 4, I'm going to discuss to you about how to divide fractions. Now, let us try to familiarize some terms with regard on division of fractions. Division is the inverse or opposite of multiplication. With regards on 3 times 4 equals 12, inversely, that is 12 divided by 3 equals 4, or 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Wherein the first number are what we call the dividend, and the second number after the operation sign are what we call the divisor. And the answer in division problem is what we call the quotient. Now, another word to be familiarized is the word reciprocal. Reciprocal, it is the inverse of a fraction or a whole number. Examples, the reciprocal of 6 is 1/6. The reciprocal of 2/5 is 5/2. The reciprocal of 1 3/4 is 4/7. Now, let us try to solve this division problem. Find the quotient of 4/5 divided by 1/3. Step 1, copy the dividend. Step 2, get the reciprocal of the divisor. Step 3, change division sign to multiplication sign. Step 4, multiply the numerators. 4 times 3 equals 12. Step 5, multiply the denominators. 5 times 1 equals 5. Now, do you think that our answer is already expressed in lowest terms with regard on the step 6? Yes or no? No. Why? Because our answer is an improper fraction. And the lowest term of an improper fraction is a mixed fraction or a mixed number with fraction in lowest term. So the answer is 2 and 2/5. Now, have you ever wondered why do we flip or invert the second fractions? Sounds interesting, right? Let's go on basic. If you are asked to divide 3/4 by 1/4, we can easily determine that there are 3 1/4 in 3/4. Now, take a look at their denominators. The denominators are the same. So whenever the denominators are the same, you just only divide the numerators. 3 divided by 1 will give you 3. The same thing, when you divide 5/6 divided by 1/6, the answer is 5. 5 divided by 1. When you divide 7/9 divided by 2/9, the answer is 3 1/2. 7 divided by 2. Now, let's go back with our previous problem. We know that when we divide 4/5 by 1/3, the answer is 2/5. If you will notice, the denominators are not of the same size or units, meaning they have different denominators. Now, I will show you how to get their equivalent fraction using an illustration. This is one way to show or understand how do we get the equivalent fractions or their common denominators. So step 1 is to draw a rectangle. Step 2, divide the figure into 5 equal parts horizontally. Step 3, shade 4 parts, then label 4/5. Step 4, divide the figure into 3 equal parts vertically, then label. Step 5, count the number of shaded parts. Okay, so there are 12 shaded parts. Now, take a look at the shaded parts. What do you think is the equivalent fraction of 4/5? Correct, it's 12/15. What about 1/3? What is the equivalent fraction of 1/3? Correct, it's 5/15. Step 6, move the 2 shaded parts to complete each 5/15 part. So we will now have 2 5/15 with a remainder of 2/5. Now, what did you notice about the denominators of the equivalent fractions of 4/5 and 1/3? Correct, they are now the same. So When the denominators are the same, you just divide the numerators to get its quotient. So 12 divided by 5 will give you 2 and 2/5. Now, going back with the given expression, 4/5 divided by 1/3, copy the dividend, get the reciprocal of the divisor, change the operation sign, then multiply the numerators. 4 times 3 will give you 12. It is also the same when you cross multiply 4 and 3 will give you 12. Next, multiply the denominators. 5 times 1 equals 5. It is also the same when you cross multiply 5 and 1. It will give you 5. So 12 over 5 is equal to 2 and 2/5. So copying the dividend, getting the reciprocal of the divisor, and changing the operation sign is a quick way to get the common denominator. That is why we flipped or invert the second fraction, because that is the easy way. Okay, now let's have another problem. Find the quotient of 2/9 divided by 3/7. Step 1, copy the dividend. Step 2, get the reciprocal of the divisor. Step 3, change division sign to multiplication sign. Multiply the numerators. 2 times 7 equals 14. Step 5, multiply the denominators. 9 times 3 equals 27. Express your answer in lowest term. Do you think that your answer is in its simplest form? By the way, how do you know if the fraction is already in its lowest term or simplest form? So fraction is in lowest term if satisfies each of the following conditions. Number 1, the numerator and the denominator are consecutive numbers. Second, the numerator is 1. The third condition, the numerator and the denominator are both prime numbers. And the fourth condition, the numerator and the denominator are relatively prime numbers. Now, what is prime number? A relative prime numbers are numbers when there is no common factor except 1. Now, in which condition that our answer 14 over 27 satisfies? Correct. It satisfies the condition number 4. Therefore, 14 over 27 is already in its lowest term because it is a relatively prime number. Now, for your activity, you're going to find the quotient. I will be giving you 45 seconds to type in your answer in our comment box. So let's begin. Timer starts now. Okay, time's up. It's time to check your answer. Okay, copy the dividend. Get the reciprocal of the divisor. Change the operation sign. Multiply the numerators. 1 times 9 will give you 9. And multiply the denominators. 7 times 4 will give you 28. So our answer is 9 over 28. Number 2, copy the dividend. Get the reciprocal of the divisor. Change the operation sign. Multiply the numerators. 2 times 8 equals 16. And multiply the denominators. 9 times 3 equals 27. Then our answer is 16 over 27. Now, how to divide simple fraction by a mixed fraction or a mixed fraction by a simple fraction? For example, what is the quotient of 1/4 and 1 1/5? Step 1, change mixed fraction to improper fraction. So how are you going to change it? So multiply the denominators to a whole number, 5 times 1, then add the numerators. So 5 plus 1 will give you 6. Then copy the denominator, which is 5. So 1 and 1/5 will become 6 over 5. Step 2, get the reciprocal of the divisor. Step 3, change division sign to multiplication sign. Step 4, multiply the numerators. 1 times 5 equals 5. Step 5, multiply the denominators. 4 times 6 will give you 24. Step 6, express your answer in lowest term. Since 5 over 24 is already in the lowest term, so our final answer is 5 over 24. Next, let's have another example. Find the quotient of 2 1/4 and 2/3. Step 1, change mixed fraction to improper fraction. 4 times 2 equals 8 plus 1 equals 9. Then copy the denominator. So 2 1/4 will now become 9 over 4. Step 2, get the reciprocal of the divisor. Step 3, change division sign to multiplication sign. Step 4, multiply the numerators. 9 times 3 equals 27. Step 5, multiply the denominators. 4 times 2 equals 8. Then, step 6, express your answer in lowest term. Again, this is an improper fraction. So the lowest term of an improper fraction is a mixed fraction or a mixed number. So the correct answer is 3 3/8. Okay? It seems to me that you are excited for the next exercises. I will give you 60 seconds to answer. Again, you may type your answer in our comment box. So timer starts now. Okay, time's up. It's time to check your answer. So change to improper fractions. Then get the reciprocal of the divisor. Change the operation sign. Multiply the numerators. Multiply the denominators. Then express your answer in lowest term. That is 18. Letter B. Copy the dividend. Change the improper fraction. Change the mixed number to improper fractions. then get the reciprocal of the divisor, then change the operation sign, then multiply the numerators. 2 times 3 will give you 6. Then multiply the denominators. 5 times 7 will give you 35. Okay, so our answer is 6 over 35. Now, what if you are asked to divide a mixed fraction by another mixed fraction? Example, what is the quotient of 2 and 1/5 and 1 and 1/10? So the first thing to do is to change mixed fraction to improper fraction. So 5 times 2 plus 1 equals 11 over 5. Then 10 times 1 equals 10 plus 1 equals 11. So that is 11 over 10. Step 2, get the reciprocal of the divisor. Step 3, change division sign to multiplication sign. Step 4, multiply the numerators. 11 times 10 equals 1 over 10. Step 5, multiply the denominators. 5 times 11 equals 55. Step 6, express your answer in those terms. So how many 55 are there in 110? Correct. There are 2. So the answer when we divide 2 and 1/5 and 1 and 1/10 is 2. Okay, for another activity, I will be giving you 60 seconds to type in your answer in our comment box. So timer starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's check your answer. So 7 times 4 equals 28. Then 3 times 5 equals 15. The lowest term, 1 and 13 over 15. For letter B, 3 times 3 equals 9. Then 2 times 5 equals 10. So the answer is 9 over 10. Now, let us try to solve this problem. A garden hose is leaking 1 liter of water every 3/4 hour. How many liters of water will it leak in 3 3/4 hours? So the first thing to do is to understand a problem by identifying what is being asked. So what is being asked in the problem? Correct. The number of liters of water that will leak in 3 3/4 hours. Then, what are the given facts? Correct. 3 3/4 hours and 1 liter of water every 3/4 hour. Now, what are we going to do to solve the problem? So we're going to plan. So what is the operation to be used? Correct. Division. So, what is the number sentence? So, n is equal to 3 3/4 divided by 3/4, wherein n is the variable that represents the number of liters of water that will leak in 3 3/4 hours. Now, let's solve. 3 3/4 divided by 3/4. So change mixed number to improper fraction. So that is 15/4. Then get the reciprocal of the divisor. Change the operation sign. Then multiply the numerators. 15 times 4 equals 60. Then multiply the denominators. 4 times 3 equals 12. Then express your answer in lowest term. So 60 divided by 12 will give you 5. Let's check our answer. So 5 times 3/4 equals 5 times 3 equals 15, and 1 times 4 equals 4. So 15 divided by 4 equals 3 3. Okay? So our answer now, how many liters of water will it leak in 3 3/4 hours? The answer is 5 liters of water will leak in 3 3/4 hours. Now, let us try to solve this another problem. A certain garment factory ordered 4.5 tons of special cloth that will be used to sew PPEs, or the personal protective equipment for medical personnel and frontliners, to protect them from patients with COVID-19 infections. If a delivery truck can hold 3/4 tons, how many trucks will be needed to deliver all the items? So what is asked? Correct. The number of delivery trucks needed. Then, what are the given facts? So 4.5 tons of special cloth and 3/4 tons of special cloth for each truck. Now, how are we going to solve the problem? Of course, we are going to use a division plus a model representation. Now, let's try to solve this problem. I will draw 5 squares and divide 1 square into 2 parts to represent the 4.5 tons of special cloth. Since each truck can deliver or can hold 3/4 tons, I'm going to divide each square into 4 equal parts. Okay, so what fractional part of a whole represent by 1 unit? Correct, it's 1/4. So 1 unit is equal to 1/4. Now, if 1 unit is equal to 1/4, how many units do we need to make 3/4? Correct, we need 3 units to make 3/4. Now, if 3/4 represent the number of delivery truck that it can hold for a 3/4 ton, how many trucks will be needed to deliver all the items? Correct. There will be 6. 6 trucks are needed to deliver all the items. Now, let's check your answer. 4.5 divided by 3/4 equals 9/2 times 4/3. So 9 times 4 will give you 36, and 2 times 3 will give you 6. Then divide. 36 divided by 6 is equal to 6. So 6 trucks are needed to deliver all the items. Okay, so remember, when we are dividing fractions and mixed fractions, change mixed fractions to I. What is I? Correct, improper fractions. Copy the D. What is D? Dividend. Then, get the R of the divisor. What is R? Reciprocal. Then, change division operation to M. What is M? Correct. Multiplication. Then, multiply the n. What is n? Correct. The numerators. Then, multiply the d. What is d? Correct. Denominators. And for the last step, S, your final answer. So what is S? Correct. Simplify your answers. So I think that's all for today. If you have any questions or clarification, you may start typing it in our comment box. Okay, so for our first question, how to divide whole number by a fraction? Now, the first thing to do when you are dividing a whole number by a fraction or a fraction by a whole number, the first thing to do is to change whole number to a fraction by writing 1 as its denominator. Then proceed to the division process. Okay? So since there are no more questions, this is your home learning task. So on your self-learning module, answer what's more, try this, and keep trying on page 13. So for more clarification, you can ask your subject teacher. So, once again, I am Sir Nick M. Cuerpo, saying thank you. God bless you, and stay safe. Bye, everyone. Bye.